If you want to go as fast as you possibly can on a road bike, and who doesn't want to go as fast as they can, then short of strapping a motor to your frame, or getting a new doctor perhaps, then the easiest way to go as fast as you possibly can is to buy an aero road bike. In this video, I picked 6 of the fastest, the best looking, the hottest aero road bikes available in 2019. Now, where possible, I've added links to first rides or reviews of the bikes we've ridden here at road.cc in the description below. But some of these bikes are so new, so fresh, we've not even seen them in the flesh, let alone ridden them. But hopefully we'll change that in 2019. As with all lists, there's not space for every single bike, so let me know which bikes I've missed in the comment section below. Love to hear which bikes you are excited about riding or seeing in 2019. Now, the idea of aerodynamics is a fairly new one in the world of cycling, and it really goes back to the 1989 edition of the Tour de France, still the most exciting, the closest edition of the Tour de France, which was won by Greg LeMond, down to the fact that he embraced aerodynamic products, gave it a real advantage in the time trial, and meant he won the Tour de France. And since then, we've seen a real explosion in the development of aero products, from time trial bikes to road bikes, helmets, skin suits. Every aspect of the bicycle and equipment has been looked at and scrutinised to reduce drag as much as possible. The idea of an aero road bike really goes back to 2002, and Cervelo launched the Soloist, which is renowned as being the first aerodynamic road bike. It combined the aerodynamics of a time trial bike with the low weight and comfort of a regular road bike into a package that offered the best all-round performance for people racing or just seeking the fastest possible ride in a road bike. And since then, nearly every brand worth its salt offers an aero road bike. Some brands are into their second or third generation, while some brands are still playing catch up. There's now loads of choice. So clearly there are way more bikes than the 6 I've included in this list, but you let me know which ones I've missed out in the comment section below. But let's crack on with my list, starting with, in at number 1, in no particular order as well, it's the Specialized S-Works Venge. Now, this is a 3rd generation aero road bike from the company that first launched an aero road bike way back in 2011. The company got loads of expertise and experience in wind tunnel testing. They've even got their own wind tunnel over at Morgan Hill, California, so they've got a real competitive advantage compared to brands that have to hire out wind tunnel space. And the Venge, through its 3 generations, have won loads of races at the World Tour level, with the likes of Mark Cavendish and Marcel Kittel all putting the Venge across the finish line first in sprints. So it's a really fast, capable, proven race bike. Not only is it a super fast bike and claimed to be much faster than the previous Venge, it also has the cleanest integration and internal cable routing we've yet seen on an aero road bike. They've got their own aero handlebar and stem with the cables and brake hoses inside the handlebar, stem and in the frame, so really clean, low drag appearance. They've also brought some of the DNA from the tarmac into the bike, so it handles better, provides better comfort and better stiffness as well. It's disc brakes only and electronic gear group sets only. There is space for a 30mm tyre, so you can get loads of comfort from this bike, but because it's only disc brakes and electronic gears, it means it's a high starting price, with an Ultegra Di2 bike costing £6,500 and the S-Works dual race model costing nearly 10 grand, so not a cheap bike. All that performance comes with a high price tag with the Specialized S-Works Venge.
There's no such thing as one kind of ride.
In at number 2 is the brand new Trek Madone disc. It's pointless having the fastest, most aero road bike if the ride is so hard and stiff that it's uncomfortable to ride. So Trek borrowed some of the comfort boosting design from its Domani endurance bike and wrapped it up in a very aerodynamic frame to produce the latest Madone. It's a model which has morphed from being a lightweight all-round bike in the Armstrong era to an aero speed machine that it is today. Trek fitted the adjustable ISO-speed decoupler from the Domani into the seat tube, which basically separates the seat post from the front so the saddle can move back and forth, providing a smoother ride. You then have a camtail profile down tube to reduce the drag, and the rim brakes are smoothly integrated into the fork and the rear stays. The rim brake Madone was first launched in 2015 and the disc brake version came in 2018. There's a small weight penalty with disc brakes, as with most disc brake bikes, but Trek assures us there's no aero drag penalty with a disc brake, so you can have Your disc brakes and your better braking performance, but no aero drag increase over the rim brake version, just a small weight penalty. In at number 3 is the Canyon Aero, which is probably the most affordable aero speed machine you can buy at the moment. Now it's available in 2 versions. There's a CF SLX with the highest grade, lightest carbon frame, or there's now a more affordable but slightly heavier CF SL. The frame basically comes out of the same mould but has used a lower grade carbon fibre. They've been able to do this because the Aero has been around for quite a long time now. It first launched at the 2014 Tour de France, so 2015 model year. It was updated with disc brakes in 2017, 2018, but it's essentially the same frame that's been around for quite a few years. So we might expect an update at some point in 2019, maybe 2020. But despite its age, it's still a really modern, contemporary looking and fast looking aero road bike. And because it's been around for a few years now, you can get quite an affordable range of models, as is the way with Canyon. But we've got a Canyon CF SL on test at the moment, and it's £2,500 with a Shimano 1.5 group set, making aerodynamic road bikes more accessible than they've ever been. Certainly a lot cheaper than that S-Works Avenger I mentioned at the top of the video. As well as being fast, it's a great handling and a really comfortable bike as well. And because you've got disc brakes, you can fit a wider tyre. So you have all the benefits of the comfort of a wider tyre, but all the drag reducing features you get on the Canyon Aero as well. And disc brakes to top it off for extra stopping power. So a good all-round package for racing or just fast performance riding. In at number 4 is, and I quote here, the world's fastest road bike. Yes, it's a brand new Candel System 6, the newest bike on my list here. So new that I've not ridden it yet, but we've got a first ride on the site and you read that in the description below. Now Candel have been slow, been late to the aero road bike party, but they produce a really fast looking, distinctive looking aero road bike which has some really interesting features. Now the System 6, that's all down to the fact there are 6 key components that make up the integration aspect of the bike. Now Candel loves a bit of integration. Their system integration, or SI for short, have been a key component of their previous road bikes. And for the System 6, there are 6 aspects that make up the bike. So you've got a frame, you've got a fork, you've got a handlebar, you've got a stem, the seat post and the wheels. And they design all these components together to perform what they say is the world's fastest bike. So they haven't designed the frame and the fork in isolation, designed it with the handlebar, the stem, the seat post and the wheels to provide the best all-round performance. Of course, as with most new aero road bikes in 2019, it's disc brakes only, I'm afraid guys. There's no way of fitting rim brakes to it. You can fit a mechanical group set to it as well as DI2, which you can't do with the S-Works Avenger, that's DI2 only. So that makes it a little bit more accessible in the price range. It's also the first bike we've seen with Mavic's speed release through axle system. It's a really clever design that makes it easier and quicker to get the wheel out of the frame, because unlike conventional through axles where you have to remove the whole axle, you have an open drop out on one side, so you just undo the lever and then drop the wheel out like a conventional quick release setup, but with the benefits of a through axle. In at number 5 is a bike that dares to be different. Yes, it's a 3T Strider, now available with 1 or 2 chainrings depending on your front mech preference. Now, when it launched a few years ago, I was really impressed. Really fast, really good handling and really good comfort as well. But a lot of people got really hung up on the fact that it's one by bike only and you couldn't fit a front mech. I didn't find the one by gear range a problem at all, but I know the pro team they supported last year had a lot of well publicised issues, and it caused quite a lot of debate on forums around the world and social media. But now it's available with a front mech, so you can fit a front mech and a double chain set and benefit from all the handling, the performance and the comfort that this bike offers, and still have a conventional drivetrain. A lot of people got hung up on the fact you couldn't fit a front mech to a 3T Strider, but most people seem to forget that the real design focus of the 3T Strider was actually around wide tyres, or providing a bike with all the benefits and comfort of wide tyres, but minimising the drag that you get from a wider tyre. So they designed it around 28mm wide tyres, push the seat tube and the down tube as close to the tyre as possible, just like on a time trial bike, and try to provide the comfort of an endurance bike with wide tyres, yet with the speed and the low drag of an aero road bike. And it worked. It's really fast and really comfortable bike to ride, and at a time when a lot of aero road bikes were really stiff and harsh in riding on rough roads and could only take a narrow tyre, the 3T Strider was a breath of fresh air really in comparison. So that's a 3T Strider, now available with 1 or 2 and I urge you to not let the whole 1 fiasco from last year in the Pro Team put you off considering the 3T Strider if you're in the market for a new aero road bike this year, because it's a really good bike, good looking, fast aero road bike. In at number 6 and rounding out my list is probably the oldest bike here, and not an out and out aero road bike, but still an aero road bike, and it won more races than any other bike here. Yes, it's a Pinarello Dogma F10, a bike more commonly seen between the legs of Chris Froome and Geraint Thomas and others. It's a Pinarello Dogma F10. So as I mentioned, it's not an out and out aero road bike, but when it was designed a couple of years ago, it was designed with the input from the Jaguar car company, who put it through CFD and wind tunnel testing to provide the best aerodynamics they could at the time. So you've got this flat back feature, which is a truncated aero profile down tube with a port for the Di2 junction box and a recess for the water bottle to reduce drag around your water bottle. Got a wide bowed fork to reduce turbulent air around the front wheel, and you've got an aero seat tube and seat post as well. So all the hallmarks of an aero road bike, and it's certainly got the credentials you expect of an aero road bike, winning more races than most, and also a really versatile bike. We've seen it in action on the cobbles of Spring Classics as well. So aero on the mountains, aero on the cobbles, and aero on the flat roads. Aero everywhere. Now, Pinarello doesn't really call the Dogma F10 an aero road bike, but as I mentioned, it's got all the hallmarks of an aero road bike. And it certainly proved itself to be fast over the last few years, and versatile as well. We've seen it in action on the mountains, in the Spring Classics, and on flat stage as well. So an all-round, highly capable aero road bike. However, despite not really holding back Team Sky from winning races, it's showing its age a little bit and was first launched in 2017. It replaced the previous F8, there's no F9 for some reason, and I expect Pinarello to be working on a replacement, F11 maybe, or F12, and there might be something seen at Tour de France. I don't know, I haven't spoken to Pinarello, they won't tell me when new bike's coming out. But I expect something, given the usual timelines in the bike world, something might be seen at the Tour de France this year. So those have been my 6 hottest aero road bikes available in 2019. As I mentioned at the top of the video, there are way too many bikes to include in this video. So let me know which bikes I've missed in the comment section below, and which bikes you'd like me to include in a future roundup of aero road bikes. Now, if you're in the market for an aero road bike this year, let me know which bikes you're looking at buying in the comment section below, and why you might be looking at an aero road bike as well. Or if you already own an aero road bike, let me know which one in the comment section below. So that's all for now, I think. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed watching it, and hit that subscribe button as well if you don't miss any future videos from myself and the rest of the road.cc team. And I'll see you all again next time.